Good morning. So nice to have you join us on a dreary Friday morning. If you are still in that New Year's resolutions mode, you are in luck, because I think until you hit about mid-January, you can still keep saying Happy New Year and have that mindset of how to make 2026 the best for you. So our first guest is here to help you in that effort. This is Nancy Cogar. Y'all know her by now. She's an elder law attorney here in town. So good to see you.
Great to see you, and Happy New Year.
That's right. So, I am that person. I think the early part of January, I'm still kind of getting over Christmas, putting away the boxes, and the house still looks festive. And then long about now, you begin to think, okay, this is serious.
Yeah.
What am I going to do with this new year?
Yeah, now it's time to act.
Yeah.
So, and that's why I'm here, right?
Yeah.
I just want to send out a friendly reminder to all you folks out there that have an older plan, an estate plan, or you don't have one at all. Believe me, you're not alone. But let's make 2026 the year where you get prepared, ready for long-term care, aging, for, times when you may need someone authorized to help you with an estate plan, right? This is the time to be ready.
So let me ask you a couple of things and tell folks watching one thing.
Sure.
As we are talking, Nancy has a podcast. She's about to go into season 3.
Yahoo!
It drops on Tuesday. She calls it Boomer Time. Is that right?
Boomer Time.
Boomer Time with Nancy Cogar. So now she's about to launch a book. You can pre-order it now. So as we're talking, the book is called?
It's called Boomer Time Blueprint.
Okay.
And my hope is to connect the resources that are on the podcast with resources that are offered in the book and on my website. And, I tell people routinely, I love resources. So the more specific and personalized you can prepare yourself, then the better your estate plan is going to be. So I want to make that easier for you and more effective.
Does the estate plan generally start with a will?
Yeah, I think there's some confusion about what an estate plan is or whether I have an estate. It's about your property and your person. So it's about protecting you, protecting your family, and then protecting your assets. Not just after you're dead, but, how about making them work for you, protecting them as you move forward? We just don't know what the future holds.
Okay, so I know there was an era, y'all know it too, 10 or 15, maybe 20 years ago now, where the online idea of, go online and do a will was pretty popular.
Yeah.
That's just a surface coverage. To really do a will and an estate, you've got to look at all the details of a person's life and ask the what if this contingency and that contingency, right?
It's really a what if process. And, I always say estate planning is a minefield because you're so accustomed to your circumstances that you may not think it's any different than anybody else. But I tell you, everybody has specific circumstances that need to be addressed in these plans. And we've got HIPAA privacy laws, we've got, litigation still an issue. We've got people that need to be specifically authorized with enforceable documents. You mentioned do it yourself. I would not do that. That is one of the biggest problems I see is making documents, thinking it's a cookie cutter document, works for me, fill in the blank, and it may not be enforceable. Chances are it won't be. And the person that you trust, that you want to make decisions for you, may not be authorized, and you may end up in court spending more money, creating a huge amount of stress for your family. We know that personally.
I'm a big fan of the sentence, I don't know what I don't know.
Right.
So when you're in the hands of an expert, what you want from that expert is to do the thinking for you, so to speak.
Right.
And I bet when someone's with you, you're peppering them with tons of questions.
I am. I'm not trying to overwhelm anyone, but I hear oftentimes, well, I never thought about that. I never thought about that. Can I do this? That means I'm doing my job.
Okay,
really.
Let's talk about the money side of it for a minute. So let's say it's kind of the conventional idea we all probably have, right? That we live our lives, we retire, we've got our savings, and we're at a ripe old age, and we gently pass along, and our kids get the money.
Right.
That's the dream,
That's
right?
the perfect
scenario.
Scenario, yeah, that
Yeah.
it used to be.
Okay, but the money still has to be looked after, and you want
Yes.
to try to avoid your kids having to go through probate, right?
Right.
So
right.
why is that, and what makes probate so bad?
Well, part of the estate planning process too is to make your money that you've worked so hard for, and just whatever assets you have, even if it's just your family home, make it available for you to work for you the best we can in the way you're comfortable before you pass away. I mean, your investments, bank accounts, so forth, are not your children's retirement.
Right, right.
You're right. So it's a blessing to leave that, but I want you to be able to access it, use it. There are a lot of expenses that people don't realize until it gets too late with long-term care planning. You know, we see government benefits being reduced. You do not want to find yourself in a situation where you're trying to help mom, trying to help dad. You don't have the authority to make decisions for them. You don't have access to the money, and you don't know how to pay for it. I mean, it's complex.
If
you know?
you're in a blended family situation where you want to have, I guess it laid out where there's like a husband and wife remarry for both, but then you want their spouses to be protected, but then their biological children to also have that money.
Right.
It gets complicated.
It does. And if you don't do anything or you do it the wrong way, then state law is going to control.
Right.
So your stepchildren or your monies, if they go to your husband or they go to you first, they're going to just follow the route. And you may lose, one side of the family may be eliminated from the scheme without you even realizing it.
Okay, last question. Does
Yeah.
the executor of your will need to live in the state you live in?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no. But here, I can speak from a standpoint in Hamilton County. They will have out-of-state people agree to some specifics under the law. For instance, if the estate is sued, then we need the Secretary of State to be the agent so that a complaint, any of those kind of things can be registered there. But no, there's usually a bond. You know, you hear
Okay.
about surety bonds and things like that. So there's steps that can be done. It's just most important is having someone that you know you can trust
Right.
and is available and is willing to do it.
So here are the 3 things you have to know. One, her website, because you can find all of this there, nancycogar.com.
Yes, ma'am.
You can follow her podcast, drops next week, called Boomer Time with Nancy Cogar, Season 3, and pre-order that book, The Boomer Time Blueprint.
Yes.
Great to see you.
Thanks. Good to see you always.
Our whole job
is to give you accurate forecasts
We use science
and our experience.
here in the Tennessee Valley.
to make sure you know what the weather will bring.
That's a promise from the Storm Alert Weather Team.